So Louisville comes to Aggieland 7-2 and looking for some respect.
Well, this is another opportunity for us to elevate our program, to elevate the level of competition, and to defeat a top 10 football team. It's never been done in University of Louisville history.
We feel people, our respect has gone down a little bit, and this is a great opportunity for us to get that back up.
Louisville may have picked a bad time to come to town. The Aggies got dropped a spot in the national rankings and didn't even play. They're in a conference that doesn't get much respect, and right now they're looking for an example.
Texas A&M has three outstanding tailbacks. Greg Hill's a gliding type running back. Bang, will hit the open seam. Rodney Thomas, the second tailback's more of a power runner, will punish in the open field. Will play fullback tonight against Louisville on some plays. And the third tailback, Leland McElroy, may be the best of all of them.
The Texas Aggie defense, the Wrecking Crew, not just a nickname, but a 10-year tradition of a dominating group established by guys who played in the pros, guys like John Roper, Aaron Wallace, Marcus Buckley, and now their legacy inspires a new leader.
It's an honor to play for the Wrecking Crew. We come out there and we try to wreck the opposing team's offense. We do the best we can as a family, as a brother. We know that each one of us is going to have the other person's back, so we don't have anything to worry about when we go out there. That's why we play together so well.
Before there were airbags, fuel injectors, big block V8s, fins, rack and pinion steering, wipers, radios, or even steering wheels, Kelly Springfield was building tires. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Now, the most advanced motor oil in Quaker State history comes with the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cash back rebate on new advanced formula Quaker State. That's $4.20 cash back. Hurry, see your Quaker State retailer before November 30th.
ESPN's presentation of CFA College Football is brought to you by new advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines.
College Station, Texas, home of the Fighting Aggies of Texas A&M, and tonight they take on the number 20 Cardinals of Louisville. The Aggies ranked number 10 in the nation. Hi, everybody. I'm Rod Franklin, and welcome once again to CFA Primetime here on ESPN. Now, unfortunately, there is another story that has taken precedence over our ball game tonight. So quickly, before we talk football, Texas A&M for the past 11 months has been under investigation by the NCAA. The charges are youngsters, student athletes, receiving money from jobs where work was not performed. The students came forward and admitted that it had happened. They were suspended for last year's Cotton Bowl game and then for early games this year. The students paid back the money, and also their Cotton Bowl rings from last year were taken away. In the morning, R.C. Slocum and an administrative group from Texas A&M will get on board a private plane and fly to Kansas City to go in front of the NCAA. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to sit down and talk with R.C. Slocum about the investigation by the NCAA.
I think the thing that's been most disappointing to me is that we have worked, everybody at Texas A&M, starting from our administration all the way down to the coaches, have worked extremely hard to try to have a program that would be a model program and be one that people would look at, that the NCAA would look at with pride and say, this is how you run a college program, and they're winning games, they are successful, but they're doing it by the rules. And the most disappointing thing to me is that has been questioned.
R.C. Slocum yesterday, one of the things that must be proven by Texas A&M is that there was not a lack of administrative control by the university. So tomorrow they fly to Kansas City. This has been going on for 11 months, and the word is that it will take still another month or 6 weeks for Texas A&M to receive some sort of verdict by the NCAA. Now, let me bring in my partner, and we talk football. Mike Gottfried, as usual, joins me on the telecast. Mike, Louisville looking for more respect. They're 7-2, and they have a quarterback by the name of Jeff Brom that unless you play them or see him on a regular basis, you don't know that much about him. But I don't think he gets the national attention that probably he should.
Ron, you're right. He's a solid quarterback, and what helps him is he benefits from being in the offense of Howard Snellenberger. It's a pass offense, but tonight he has great vision. He's going to need it against this Texas A&M defense. He has to have a big game.
Adrian Karsten, as usual, is our third member on the telecast. He is down on the sideline. And, Adrian, let's get an update from you.
Well, Ron, the potential X factor in tonight's game becomes the weather. Now, not so much the percentage of rain, only 40% now at kickoff. It's the wind, Ron, currently blowing at 50 miles per hour right to left, but it's been going to be gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Now, remember, A&M owns the #1 punt returner and kickoff returner in the nation. Expect their production to be cut, but maybe more importantly, it's Jeff Brom, Louisville's quarterback, very much the passing quarterback. He's got to throw into this wind for half the game.
Howard Snellenberger, 9th year at Louisville, 46, 50, and 2 this season, 7 and 2 for the Cardinals. And across the way, R.C. Slocum. Look at those numbers through 5 years. 46, 11 and 1. This year, Texas A&M 7 and 1. The only loss coming against the Oklahoma Sooners. Tertulius will kick it off from the 35-yard line, and Aaron Bailey is the man deep. And as usual, they are standing and cheering here at College Station. We are underway. Cannon sounds, and that one is out of the back of the end zone. So the starting lineups brought to you by Russell Athletic. For the Louisville Cardinals, Jeff Brom, you will enjoy watching him throw tonight. He needs to get off to a good start. Coaches say when he does that, he gets into the groove very well. Aaron Bailey is the man they would most like to get his hands on the football out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And the offensive front, they have only 6 offensive linemen here with them, but the best is Dave DeBold. First down, gives it to Dawkins. And he will take it straight ahead for a couple as we meet the defensive starters from the Wrecking Crew. Sam Adams, big number 95. You heard from him. Good bloodlines. His daddy played a long time in the NFL. The linebackers, they're active. Solari, probably the guy that is as big a playmaker as the Aggies have this time around. And in the secondary, many say an All-American and will go early in the draft. Aaron Glenn, he's out of Aldine, Texas, just north of Houston. Good look at Aaron Glenn. Brown rolls the pocket slightly, throws the pass, has it complete. Aaron Bailey with the receiving at the 34-yard line. Ray Mickens is the man who makes the stop.
The job ahead for the Louisville offense tonight. There's only been 1 touchdown scored against A&M here at A&M this year. It was scored by SMU late in the ball game.
Sam Adams, 6'4", 269 pounds. He's a junior. 2 Letterman, Cy Creek, his own. Go with the running play. Dawkins, there is nothing there. 58, Lance Teichelman, the nose guard, is the first man to come through, and Lance hits him pretty good. He's a senior. Austin Westwood is where he hails from. Mike, what makes Brom so difficult to take advantage of?
Size, first of all. He has good size. He's strong in his lower body. He's tough to bring down. And now, especially putting him in the shotgun, he gets a better look at the defense, more time to throw.
Snap way over his head. Brom in retreat into the end zone. Can he throw it away? Yes. Well, you talk about cool under pressure. And you could see that he had an offensive player. Chris Fitzpatrick was in the vicinity.
Well, you're right about a heads-up play, because when that happens to you, if you're a kicker, you always tell the kicker when the ball goes over your head, punting the football, just kick it out of the end zone. We'll take the 2-point safety. But Jeff Brom is smart enough to know he's got a little bit of time, buy some time, and then throw the ball away, save the 2 points, and save the poor field position. Big play by Louisville.
And what he'd most like to do right now probably is to get his heart back up underneath his shoulder pads. Third down, and Louisville needs the 44-yard line. Roll the pocket, pressure is on. Gets by, and this time will not. Shorter is the man who finally gets the sack, number 56.
Well, Jason Atkinson was the first man to chase after Jeff Brown. And the idea for Louisville tonight is to roll the pocket, not let Jeff Brown sit in the drop back action. But Antonio Shorter, who a lot of people think reminds him of Marcus Buckley, the sack leader here at Texas A&M a few years ago, makes the tackle.
Well, keep an eye on number 31, Aaron Glenn, senior from Aldine Nimitz. Brandon Brookfield will kick it away for the Cardinals. Line drive kick, but it is away from Glenn, and it will not be a returnable ball. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So let's take a look at the starters on offense for Texas A&M. Corey Pullick at quarterback, but Greg Hill, he was one of the suspended players, but he is back and roaring away. Number 27, he will open at tailback. The wide receivers, Tony Harrison, he's the best, the leading receiver for the Texas Aggies. And up front, the man that they depend on as far as being most consistent is Chris Dawson, the center out of San Antonio. Where's number 68? Corey Pullick, sophomore out of Deer Park. Mike, very steady. It fits in this offense well, doesn't it? Pass to Hill. Puts the head down, and you can see with an aid from his offensive lineman, will take it for 5. And here's the starting lineup on defense for the Louisville Cardinals. Jim Hanna doesn't get the attention that Joe Johnson does, but as the coaches say, keep an eye tonight because 95 will be around the football all evening. And much is the same situation for Ben Sumter. His head coach last night said just see how many tackles he'll make because he's always around the football. And in the secondary, one of the leaders nationally in interceptions, Anthony Bridges. Moultrie, Georgia, his home, and he has 7 pickoffs on the season. Rodney Thomas puts the head down to the second effort. He may have picked up the initial first down of the night as Brown is down at the bottom of the stack.
Ty Smith, when I talked to him, the defensive coordinator of Louisville, he said he thought A&M would come out and try to throw the ball a little bit. They've been considered a running type offense, and he feels like that they have to try to establish the pass against his Louisville defense, as you see, Ty.
Mike, one of the reasons for the cheer is Leland McElroy, number 34, who was a redshirt freshman from Beaumont Central, has come into the lineup for Texas A&M, and he will join Rodney Thomas. Leland McElroy has proven that he may wind up being one of the best that A&M's ever had here. There you see why. He can move it with the quick steps and also can run with power. Anthony Bridges makes the stop. Take a look at these 3 backs, Mike.
3 solid backs.
5.3 on the hill as far as yards per carry. Thomas 5.1 and McElroy 7.9.
Trick play coming up right here, Ron. They caught Louisville sleeping.
McElroy, 1 man to beat, steps out of bounds.
That's a swinging gate play, and Texas A&M, I've watched them for the last 3 years. They like to run it. What they do, Ron, to set it up, they run the play before into the short side of the field in front of the Louisville bench. They want the Louisville defense to have to look back to their coaches, and while they're looking to their coaches, the quarterback will get up, just snap the ball to Leland McElroy, and they caught Louisville sleeping.
And Mike, you make a great point in the fact that they set it up running toward the visiting bench, and you're standing there looking at your position coach, and all of a sudden, bam, the ball is snapped. Greg Hill, right side. He gets tagged, and it was Hanna along with Kendall Brown who comes up quickly, and Joe Johnson to make the tackle.
When you watch Texas A&M on tape and in their other ball games, when they get in this area of the field, they like to throw fade patterns into the corners of the end zone. Brian Mitchell, number 18, Tony Harrison, number 3. So don't be surprised if they do go to the fade on this play.
No score, but the initial possession of the night for Texas A&M, and they have a second down.
Changing the play because of too deep coverage.
Hill caught for the ankles. It's a nice defensive play, and it's 95 Jim Hanna who is there to make the tackle on him, and also you see 94 Joe Johnson.
Kendall Brown was also in on the play, and there's an injury on the field.
And Hanna is shaken up. He is down at the 12-yard line.
To give to Greg Hill, number 27. The blocking, Kendall Brown, number 85, in on the play. Jim Hanna. Good penetration by the Louisville defense. Because of Corey Pullig's mobility, you would think here, Ron, in a definite passing situation now, still possibility of the fade, but also with the ball in the right hash, you might get a sprint out to the left where you get a run pass situation for number 4, Corey Pullig.
Now the numbers on Texas A&M inside the 20 this year: 43 possessions, 32 touchdowns, and 7 field goals. We go under 10 minutes to play opening quarter. And the Aggies now with a third down, and they need the 1.5-yard line. Middle screen. McElroy, touchdown Aggies. Interesting yesterday that R.C. Slocum said any one of the tailbacks, either Thomas or Hill or McElroy, you could run the same play. All three would run it differently. McElroy showed you again right there why that extra step of quickness and power really makes him special. Venetoulias knocks home the extra point, and as we go to commercial, let's take another look at McElroy and the touchdown pass. We'll look at it when we...
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Sony. Nothing unleashes the power of music like Sony.
Well, midnight Yale practice last night. The Aggie faithful gathered here for Yale practice. This happens every Friday night for a home game. The band and the Yale leaders preparing the fans for the next day's game. Last night, the crowd of around 25,000 on hand, and they have had as many as 40,000 or so to show up for Yale practice on Friday evenings before their ball games. In fact, I would be greatly surprised that a week from Wednesday, the night before the Thanksgiving affair against Texas, if they don't have it, at least that many folks here. Terry Venetoulias will tee the ball up at the 35 and kick it away to Aaron Bailey. And Mike, on the opening drive, you have to say that the Aggie offensive coaches need to be gleaming right now. They were extremely impressive. With the aid of the wind and a good foot, he kicks that out of the back of the end zone.
And here's the key play on that drive, Ron, 25 yards. But you see Louisville right here. They were in the huddle looking over at the calls. The quarterback, Corey Pullig, is standing right there. He just snaps the ball, and all the A&M players are lined up over here. Now Leland McElroy is able to get good blocking from his team, offensive team, and take it for 24 yards. Here's the touchdown. Now they move Leland McElroy out to a receiver, number 34, to the middle screen for the touchdown.
So as Louisville comes to the line of scrimmage, they're now down 7-0. And a shotgun formation for the Cardinals. Ron steps up and drills his pass complete, but Dawkins is only going to have a couple of yards.
When you coach against a ball club this late in the season, and when they have an open date, you have to worry about gimmick plays because they have longer to prepare the gimmick plays. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do not see 2 or 3 more during this ball game against Howard Snellenberger.
Mike, of the 56 yards in the drive, McElroy accounted for 45 of them. Danny Patterson at the 48 comes in as the fullback. Dawkins with the carry, though, breaks off one tackle and fights his way out to the 30, and it's very close to a first down as Hendricks is holding on for dear life there.
Talked about the open date. While you're practicing for the open date, Howard Snellenberger was getting ready for Tennessee, so he couldn't worry about A&M, and that's the sometimes a disadvantage of you're playing Tennessee and A&M's enjoying their chance to get some gimme plays ready for you 2 weeks later.
No doubt about that. And you also get some folks healthy that have got some bangs and bruises. Quick pitch goes to Patterson. Tries to turn the corner. You see Atkinson, number 43, grabbing him from behind, and also Antonio Shorter, number 56.
When you play against Texas A&M defensively, especially in passing situations, you have to make sure you block Steve Solari, number 94, and Antonio Shorter, number 56. What they'll do is they'll rush from the outside real hard and then put a slow read by the defensive tackles, looking for Jeff Brown to scramble. Always somebody prepared to spy on Jeff Brown so he doesn't take off the ball.
Primary was not there. Looked for a secondary receiver, and Asher, his tight end, is the man that he wanted.
Ron, now Steve Kenny comes on the field. He's number 36, who will be the extra defensive back. Now, the idea for Texas A&M now in this series is that Louisville has two key receivers, Ralph Dawkins, the running back, number 22, Jamie Asher, the tight end, number 37. One of those two players on this play should be doubled up by Steve Kenny. So there'll be two on, and it will be Ralph Dawkins. Now, Dawkins looked for him to be doubled on this play.
Long pass is tipped and almost intercepted. And, of course, the minute the ball is tipped, as Junior White got a hand on it, everybody's fair game. All the pass interference is off.
And the other thing that happens when you're on the road, if you're the University of Louisville, is this crowd is so into the defense here. They've been spoiled by the great defenses they've had the last 10 years here, and the crowd just thrives on defensive play, and they just get into the ball game with this defense.
Yep, they really do. You could see the numbers on Aaron Glenn as Brookfield will have to kick into this stiff breeze. Kick to him again, the nation's leader. This one off the side of his foot. He's going to bound and take a Texas A&M bounce just shy of the 46-yard line. Only 21 yards in the kick, so let's take a break. Aggies with momentum.
To another level, you feel like you're floating on air. The competition is so thick and so tight that you can cut it with a knife. National championship game between 1 and 2 is nothing compared to this.
Well, Sam Adams of Texas A&M talking about what I alluded to just a while ago, and that is 1 week from Thursday evening, we'll be right back here in College Station for the annual gathering, and this will be the 100th time under this flag right here of this great state that A&M and Texas will have met on the gridiron. Lots of history. Again, a century of it. Play action on top, just too far.
Great fake by Corey Pulig. Another key play where they're going to try and drive a stake through Louisville here early. They went for the home run, but this is a great fake by Corey Pulig. You're going to watch the fake by number 4. Puts the ball on his back, now just nonchalantly steps back, has Brian Mitchell open. Number 18 against Anthony Bridges, just overthrew the football. Excellent fake.
Well, as Adrian mentioned, we have not just a wind, a gale blowing from the south, and it was just a pad, as you can see, overthrown, and I'm sure the wind didn't help. Drop play with Greg Hill. Got a blocker in front. Terry Quinn will come up from the secondary to make the tackle, but it's going to be a gain of about 7 on the play.
Anthony Bridges, the corner for Louisville, who Ty Smith, the defensive coordinator, says is the best he's ever coached, really made a good play on that because he was being blocked, was able to come off to help on the tackle on Greg Hill.
Sharp along with McKeon in the ball game as the Aggies go with 2 tight ends on the 3rd down and short situation. 7-0, A&M leads. As we go under 7 minutes left to play opening quarter. Well, look how deep the tailback in the I formation. Hill was set up 8 yards behind the center. A lot of room to have vision.
Well, you're right, Ron, and the reason you stack him 8 yards back is because there's not a fullback, so he may have to cut back. So you want the ball deep enough to him that he can cut back across the center, or if he sees his blocking front side, he can take it outside. That's the reason he's at that depth.
Louisville with a player shaken up and down at the 47-yard line. Leonard Ray, number 97, a senior out of Port St. Joe, Florida, is the injured Cardinal.
Win a factor. You have to think as a coach that you want to use the win to your benefit. When you have it to 2 quarters, you want to air it out, and that's exactly what A&M did on first down.
Mike, we've talked about before, rain is one thing, and it can be a problem, but wind sometimes is an even bigger problem, and we had intermittent rain as the teams came out and warmed up a little bit today, so there's moisture on the turf, and I think we may see some slipping and sliding and errant passes tonight.
Well, you talk about the wind, Ron, and again, when you have it at your back, just like in this situation right now, one of the things, if you're Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, you have to think first down's a good down to throw against Howard Snellenberger in the Louisville defense. Possibility of a corner route here. Fake the post because they were open on the post. Now come back with the corner route. Let's keep an eye on that. Watch out.
So we're going to take a break as they continue to attend to the injured player. We'll be right back.
The team champion from Texas A&M University Press.
7-0, Texas A&M on top with 6:46 left to play in this opening quarter, and the Aggies with a first down, and they have the ball just inside the Louisville 38-yard line. Corey Pullitt, the sophomore from Deer Park. Play action. Gets it out in the flat. Somebody blew a coverage. Thomas wide open. He'll take it for the big gainer, and another A&M first down inside the 20 at the 15.
Well, exactly what Ty Smith told me last night was his concern is exactly what's happening. Texas A&M on first down is coming out, throwing the football on first down, trying to establish that, and that's bad news for Louisville because this is a running football team. Corey Pullig finds Rodney Thomas, who was lined up at fullback again on the little bootleg play, and he's wide open.
And Mike, another situation, Kliff Gross has been shaken up a bit, so they've had an opportunity with the off week to work Thomas at fullback as well as tailback. Straight ahead with the run this time. It'll go for a couple of yards. Hannah back in the ball game, and Jim makes the tackle. And we're glad to see that Leonard Ray, who was injured just a moment ago, is healthy enough to come back into the lineup for the Cardinals.
Back in the fade area again. If the last time Louisville, when we talked about it, Louisville come out in a 2-deep coverage, which is not a good coverage to throw the fade. If they get one-on-one on the outside, they like the fade route.
Thomas and Hill in the backfield again as you look at number 3, Tony Harrison. Play action in the flat. Looks as though that might be there all night long. He is inside the 5-yard line, and Thomas has it with a first and goal, Texas A&M. Watson on the tackle.
Same play. Rodney Thomas sneaks out of the backfield from the fullback position. The ball faking in the backfield is holding the linebackers. You see the fake, you see Rodney Thomas sneak out, but the linebackers are getting trapped because of the ball handling of Corey Pulley. Darius Watson, number 43, makes the tackle.
Rodney Thomas out of Groveton, Texas. This time, Kliff Gross comes back into the lineup at fullback, joining Greg Hill. First down, Texas A&M. First and goal. They already lead 7-0. Greg Hill. Gross in front. Throws the block. He'll walk in. Touchdown, Aggies.
Well, there was 2 key blocks on that, Ron, and there's nobody around. And Kliff Gross, you're right, number 33 made a clean block. Greg Short, number 86, was blocking in the secondary, and Greg Hill could have waltzed in that end zone.
Good look at Greg Sharp, the tight end out of San Antonio Churchill, who also threw a good block on the play. Terry Venetoulias to attempt the extra point. the Aggies 14-0 already.
2 key blocks. Ron opens this play wide open. As the play starts, Kliff Gross, the fullback. Stop it right there. Kliff, there's a block by Greg Short. He's got that man pinned now. Kliff Gross is going to seal him inside, and now it's a race to the corner. It's wide open for Greg Hill. Louisville lost leverage. Could not play the outside play. Terry Quinn, number 40, was blocked by Kliff Gross for the touchdown.
Well, the key block, as you could see, was by Sharp. I mean, he's the one that sealed the one player that they had to have that could have gummed up everything. And then with the block by Gross, the fullback, and it was just as though you would draw it up on the board.
Well, the problem for Louisville right now is that A&M is coming out on first down, establishing the throw, and then all of a sudden, now it's second and third down, they're pounding them with the running game. But Louisville needs to keep their offense on the field and keep their defense, give their defense a little rest here in the first quarter.
And the tough thing about it is, if you're on defense for the Louisville Cardinals, you got this guy plus 20, Thomas, plus 34, Leland McElroy, and they just keep getting fresh legs in the ballgame, just one right after another, and all are quality running backs. This one will be returned by Bailey. Big opening up the middle and finally stopped at the 37. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us?
Ron, a highlight we didn't get a chance to show the folks earlier at the vet. Darren Studstill of West Virginia threw for 3 touchdowns, 2 to Ed Hill. West Virginia plays Miami. Battle of Big East in conference unbeatens. And we hear, Ron, that Jake Kelchner will be healthy enough to play quarterback in that game.
Well, that is indeed good news because, you know, when you get 2 teams together like that, you want to play the best against the best. You don't want one of the clubs being hampered by not having their best, and that is good news. Anthony Shellman comes in at tailback, number 29 for Louisville. Shellman gets the handoff, and he's going to be denied the line of scrimmage. Eric England, one of the first men to come up and make the hit. And let's go down and check in with Adrian Karsten.
Ron, we are seeing the results of that defense that Coach Godfrey described a few moments ago. A&M is calling this a clamp technique. Now, Jeff Brown has a great reputation as a quarterback who can really feel the pressure. Back to this play, Ron, and give you the details here in just a moment.
Okay, Adrian. See the Aggies showing blitz, then they stay at home as Braum delivers. Incomplete, and here comes a flag from deep downfield. I think Aaron Glenn is going to be called for the pass interference on Bailey.
Pass interference.
The throw right here, and it looks like it was interference on Aaron Glenn.
And let's check back in with Adrian.
Well, Ron, my point was that Braum can usually feel the pressure very well, but this clamp technique that A&M is coming real hard the first 3 steps with, particularly on the outside, has him guessing. He was complaining to his coaches on the bench. He doesn't know if they're coming hard with the rush or holding back, therefore forcing him to take longer with his decisions.
Braum zings the pass, incomplete. Fitzpatrick had his hands on it, but he couldn't bring it in. One of the points that Howard Schnellenberger made last night, Mike, was that he said that Jeff Braum is one of those type of guys. He said he gets into the offense, he gets into a rhythm, and if we provide him with protection, that he gets better and better as the game goes on. But if he gets off to a slow start, that he is capable of not finding that rhythm. Flags come down all over the place. Throws a post route, incomplete at the 20, and he had Bailey.
It looked like Louisville was moving a little bit in the offensive line.
Ray Mickens had the cover on Aaron Bailey.
Looks like the call is going to be against A&M. Somebody may have lined up or moved offside for A&M. It's definitely against A&M, Ron.
Offside. Defense. Repeat second down.
Lloyd Dale is our referee tonight. Good look at the crowd here at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. 3:56 left to play, opening quarter, and the Aggie faithful have not been disappointed so far. It looks like the Aggies almost lined up offside again, as the running play will go for maybe one, and that's it. Sam Adams makes the tackle, and let's look at him isolated.
Number 95, Sam Adams. You see his ability to come out of his stance and take that first step was the key. He just beat the block of Jermaine Williams on that play.
6'4", 269. One of the 4 finalists for the Lombardi Award. Has it completed. Fitzpatrick with some room to run will have the Louisville first down. Mickens finally puts the stop on it.
Steve Solari on a blitz, number 94. Chris Fitzpatrick, number 23, was able to pick him up. And the vision again of Jeff Brown to get the ball to Chris Fitzpatrick. Number 94, Steve Solari on the blitz. Chris Fitzpatrick in the flat. Completion for Jeff Brown. Again, because he's in the shotgun, the vision is a little bit better for him.
Flags are down. Pass for the end zone, and great defensive play by Glenn at the last moment.
I think A&M jumped off sides again. I think what's happening, Ron, I don't know this for a fact, but it looks to me what happens sometimes when you get a team in the shotgun for a lot of plays, that the center will look back to the quarterback. And as soon as he sees the quarterback's ready, he'll take his head so he can see the defense, and then he times it up. 1001, he snaps it. Looks to me like Texas A&M's trying to time up that snap, and that's why they're offsides twice. They're counting the same way. As soon as his head goes back down, they're counting 1001. Bang, they're gone, and he's a little slow.
Great numbers on Aaron Glenn. You could see that nice defensive play a moment ago. So 1st and 5 for the Cardinals. They go with a running play. And it's Shellman as this play is whistled down, and another flag at the line of scrimmage.
Dead ball, false start, offense, still first down.
Well, both teams having some problems that you normally don't see this far into the season.
You know, the quiet receiver to this point, Howard Snellenberg, has not been able to go to Jamie Asher, the tight end, number 37, who's really a good-looking tight end. I like him a lot. He's got to be one of the better tight ends in the country. He's been silent so far.
6'3", 227. Versus field. Now throws and incomplete, and now here comes the play. And I think what the call is going to be, Mike, and maybe we had a better angle than some of the fans who were upset, but I think that Hendricks knocked the pass away, but also think that right hand was right in the middle of the back.
They tried to go to Jamie Asher, and I believe you're right, the right hand, but I don't know how you can talk about our angle. We're so high here, everybody's got a better seat than we've got. But Michael Hendricks, I believe you're right, number 40. Was trying to guide it with his right hand, right arm. Jeff Brown buys time again. Now watch number 40. See him grab a hold of Jamie
he's got his
Asher.
Arm.
Number 37, a good call by the officials.
So it is first down, Louisville. They're down 14-0. 2:55 left to play, opening quarter. They go running play. Fitzpatrick has 5, 6, and 7 yards. And Shorter holding on to him, but a very good quick hitter by Chris Fitzpatrick, the junior from St. Petersburg.
Looks like they're going to go no huddle again, Ron. Now, here's the reason they're going to go no huddle. Howard Snellenberger is a master at this. He knows A&M substituting nickel people in. He's not going to allow them to substitute. Going to keep Going to let Jeff Brom call his offense. Again, when you're struggling sometimes and you go to a no huddle, sometimes your quarterback can pick you up with some calls.
Running play again. Shellman. Ball is loose. And the officials say the play was dead. Sam Adams makes the tackle. And Mike, one of the big aids on this drive for Louisville, 4 A&M penalties for 31 yards on this drive alone.
On that silent snap, that's the penalty. But again, Howard Snellenberger's turned it over his quarterback. Jeff Brom is calling the plays at this point in the football game to keep substitutions off the field.
So it's first down Louisville. Line of scrimmage just outside the 10. And the shotgun, Brom now running for his life and gets away once, gets away twice. And he will take it to the 9-yard line. That is a great job as White finally makes the stop. Teichelman and England both were in extremely hot pursuit, and he got away.
Watching practice yesterday, that's the things the coaches talked about. They said strong lower body. You have to make sure you take him down. Eric England, number 92, misses. Lance Tackleman, number 58, misses. Jeff Brom made that play. His mobility.
And Jason Stinson, who is the number 2 center but has been moved to that position because of injury, is the man who's down for Louisville. And we would remind you off the top of the telecast, we told you, Howard Snellenberger said they only brought 6 offensive linemen to this football game because of injuries. So they can't go much deeper onto the shelf, and they're going to have to change some people in positions now.
Well, the worry that Howard Snellenberger, if I was coaching Louisville right now, the worry I'd have is I've already snapped one over Jeff Brom's head in the shotgun offense. Now I'm going to bring Chris Hampton off the bench. He's cold. You know, I may have to get out of the shotgun until I can give him some time to warm up.
Mike, we had an opportunity to talk to Jeff Brom about the no-huddle offense and how it works for them.
It allows our offense to kick it up an extra notch, kick it into a higher gear, and I'm able to, to call the plays I think will work. And not only that, I can call the plays and have plenty of time to see the defense, and then then change it if I feel that that's not going to work.
8th play of the drive coming up. Aggies on top, 14-0. But the Cardinals now with a second down, and the ball just inside the 10.
Kevin Cook's their go-to receiver down here.
Winds it up, drills, tipped, and intercepted by Hendricks.
And that's who they tried to go to, Ron. Kevin Cook, and they doubled him up. They were expecting him to go to Kevin Cook. Aaron Glenn with the deflection, number 31. Watch the double here on the go-to receiver. Glenn, first of all, steps inside. Now number 40, Michael Hendricks with the interception. As I talked about early, only 1 touchdown this year scored against this Texas A&M defense here at home.
Well, you can see why so many people have Aaron Glenn on their All-American teams. Well, his reaction and pursuit to the football, and although he could not make the pickoff, he tipped it, and then Hendricks gets the steal, and the Aggies stopped what was surely a points drive, at least 3 points.
Texas A&M with a minute 17 yet to air one out with a wind at the back.
Our sideline has it complete, and Mitchell is there. Let's check in again with Adrian Carson. Adrian, what do you have for us?
Watching how well Aaron Glenn is playing tonight, Ron. Remember, finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, defensive back, and obviously the nation's leading punt returner. He actually has a picture of the great Jim Thorpe over at his bed. It's the last thing he looks at before lights out. He says he wants to be as vocal as Deion Sanders, but as physical as Rod Woodson of the Steelers, another all-pro defensive back and special teams player.
Well, that's different. Jim Thorpe in the bedroom.
That's for sure. See 44. Detron Smith, the sophomore from the Highlands, and the fullback. And the Aggies move before the snap as the pass is thrown complete to Harrison. And I'm surprised that play was not whistled down as Harrison is thrown out of bounds by Bridges.
I'm surprised there's not a call here on the sideline, too, because it just threw him into the bench area. But, Ron, thinking again, Bob Toledo, the penalty is going to be against A&M, but you've got 1:05 on the clock. The wind is a factor when you look at the flags, and he wants to throw the ball as much as he can with the wind at his back. Deep.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So the 5-yard stepped off against A&M, and now we have 65 seconds left to play in this first quarter.
Look at the flags at the top of the stadium, Ron. Just keep watching that. The wind factor. There's Bob Toledo, and I know what his thinking is as he stands there calling the plays. I've got another quarter coming up here where it's going to be in my face, so I want to at least get him off me and challenge him deep here just before the quarter.
Fakes it to Hill. Gets a great pickup block. And now throws across the grain, and it's intercepted by Louisville at the 41-yard line. Kevin Gaines. Well, now what you have done is Louisville has the football back, and they're about to get the wind in 56 seconds.
There's no doubt. The last thing you wanted was a turnover, but you wanted to throw the football. Now Louisville, first down, I'm sure maybe thinking run to set up and get the win with them, but Corey Pulley going to roll out. See him throw across his body, Ron. He never had anything underneath. And Kevin Gaines, number 18, there's nothing on that football. When you throw across your body, a bigger percentage of times, you're going to have an interception and a completion.
See Gaines come quickly. Look at the numbers on Louisville on takeaways this year. 28 total now. Rahman first down. He can run. He's got an acre. Now it closes up, and he's down at the 33 as Shorter comes up, and the hole closed very quickly, but it's a gain of 8.
Important too, Ron, that Jason Stinson, number 77, is back in at center, so they can continue the shotgun offense with the center back in the ball game.
Louisville might be very well served right here with the clock ticking down to run one running play here, try to pick up the first down, let the quarter run out, and then take the win and start throwing all over again. They go with the running play. Dawkins, and he has been a non-factor in this one so far. Larry Jackson steps up to make the hit, and that is going to be the final play of this opening quarter. So Howard Snellenberger not smiling right now, but his team has a turnover. When we come back, we'll see if they can do something with it. Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten. As you look at the part of this near-capacity crowd at Texas A&M, the Aggies on top 14-0, but they've just turned it over. The Louisville Cardinals have an opportunity to take a little momentum back. But in the first quarter, it was all A&M.
Brought the safety up. Now they got an extra man against the run.
That's what they go with. And look at the hit by Eric England. Oh, my goodness.
They caught him late, Ron. They moved the safety up to give him an 8-man front. It was too late for Jeff Brom to get out of the play. Good call by Bob Davie. You're not going to... Can't see the free safety come up. And number 5, Junior White, moved up late to give him the 8-man front, force him into fourth down.
Oh, fourth down, they're going to go for it. He probably thought he not only got hit by England, but Germany and Switzerland and Austria and Italy.
Now here's where you have to be thinking Ralph Dawkins.
From the shotgun, fourth down pass is caught. Bailey on the receiving end, and what a huge fourth down play by Louisville.
That ball was thrown on a rope. He really had something on this football. Jeff Brom with a key completion.
Well, you can see just what we were talking about. When Brom settles in and really gets into his rhythm, they've had to work hard to teach him how to be a drop-back passer, not sprint out of the pocket to run like he did in high school. He really can zip it. Dawkins reverses the field, has 5, still fighting inside the 15, and he is close to a 10-yard gain for the Cardinals.
Good blocking by the offensive line on that play. First down has been a down where they've been throwing the football, so now getting good balance. You watch the offensive line come off right tackle, number 75, Jermaine Williams is pulling on the play. Good block by 76, Tom Carroll.
Second down and short. Atkinson on the blitz, and Shelvin, or let's make it Patterson, has absolutely no place to run. Shorter and Atkinson combining in the stop.
Sam Adams, you talked about his first step, very explosive, number 95, 6'4", 270 pounds, just beats the block and is able to meet Danny Patterson in the backfield.
Third down and short for Louisville. A&M up tight, running play straight ahead, and Dawkins will have the first down. As Antonio Shorter comes up to make the hit on him, but it's a 1st and goal at the 8.
The play was made by Chris Fitzpatrick, number 23. The fullback with a very good block to spring Ralph Dawkins for the first down. Number 23, Chris Fitzpatrick, there's the block on number 37, Larry Jackson, that opened it up for Ralph Dawkins.
Flank number 8, Chris Collin is coming, replacing Atkinson at inside linebacker. Here's a young player, he's only a sophomore, that the Aggies think is going to be very, very good. Short drop, nothing there, going to run at the 5 and tackled at the 3 by Larry Jackson.
Talked about it early. What they'd like to get is a good pass rush out of the outside, spy one of the defensive tackles in the middle to play Jeff Brom, similar to how you play, you know, the fine quarterback at Florida State,
Charlie Ward.
They're trying to do the very same thing with Jeff Brom, and then they blitz him inside with the tackles, a pass rush, and the outside players spy him.
Cook and Ferguson in at wide receiver. It is a 2nd down, and the ball just outside the 3. Jeff Brom, senior from Louisville. They go the running play. Dawkins, nothing at left guard. Tries to get outside and is going to be knocked down by Solari for a loss.
Steve Solari with a big play again, not allowing Ralph Dawkins to skate outside. Five-yard line run. Again, you think Dawkins, number 22. You think tight end Jamie Asher, number 37, working him against linebackers. Ralph Dawkins is going to go in the wing set.
14-0, Texas A&M. Brown trying to bring the Cardinals on, and Dawkins had the ball to hit him right in the hand. Flag is down at the 3. And that was England who was coming with the pressure.
Dead ball. Ball starts. Offense. Still 3rd down.
Well, the good thing for Louisville, it's still 3rd down on the false start.
And Mike, for what they're doing, actually this gives them a little bit more room.
A little more room to work. You're right, Ron. Again, now they tried to go to Ralph Dawkins. He was well covered.
Cook and Ferguson up at the top of your screen. As we zoom in on Braun. Zings the pass, has it complete to his tight end, out of bounds at the 1-yard line is Asher. And now decision time for Howard Snellenberger.
Well, I don't think there's much of a decision. Howard's on the road behind 14 points. He's going for the touchdown. Jamie Asher, the tight end, working all by himself on this side versus Steve Kinney, the nickelback, number 36, pushes off. He's so big at 6'3", 230 against Steve Kinney, who's 190 pounds. He was able to use his body.
Louisville calls a timeout. We'll take it with him. 10:24 after this opening half.
DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
Well, the bonfire, one of the great traditions at a tradition-rich school. They begin building it a month into the school year, and the night before the Thanksgiving game against Texas is when that baby will be lit, and that is some kind of pep rally.
Ron, if power play here, some type of power play, hurdle over the top, or Jeff Brown will fake the run, take it naked around one of the sides of the ends, but it'll be either power play or Brown.
Straight ahead, Shellman, touchdown Louisville.
1 yard run for the touchdown by number 29, Anthony Shellman.
Big block by Garen Patrick, number 74. And he used the big back, Anthony Shellman, 6'3", 200 pounds.
So the turnover by Texas A&M comes back to haunt him. It didn't look like much at the time because of the position on the field where it happened. But then Brom got the wind behind him and showed that with the wind, he is indeed going to be tough.
You can't give Louisville, they're too good on offense. You can't give them field position around the 50.
Akers with the extra point, and he bangs it home. So we'll take a break. New score, 14-7, Texas A&M. Board, 41 yards, 11 plays. Shellman with a touchdown. Mitchell to the near side, and there's McElroy. Number 34, you can see, leads the nation with an average return of 36.1. Now with this win, well, I don't know if he'll get an opportunity or not. By the way, on the drive by the Cardinals, they used 5 minutes and 35 seconds. 8 running plays and 3 passes on the drive. You can see because of the wind that Akers is having to use a holder. Kevin Gaines has come up to lend a hand, or a finger as it were. Akers kick is going to go well out of the back of the end zone. Michael?
Well, what Howard Snellenberger makes a great move on this play. Look at here, first of all, he makes the split by the tight end a little bit larger than he usually is, and then he gets the good block down here. Then the fullback Fitzpatrick and the backside guard will pull through, so they already make themselves a hole to start with before the play. Now look at him open it up, and that's what caused the touchdown. Anthony Shellman, the big back, into the score.
You can see Solari came from a long distance to grab him from behind, but he had broken the plane by then, so it's 14-7. Greg Hill breaks off a tackle, and he'll take it to the 28 as Quinn finally makes the stop on it. Cavallo is the man that he got out of the grasp of. This is what the 3 backs have done so far tonight. Look in touches. McElroy averaging 15, Thomas averaging 9, and Hill with 7 carries, averaging 6 yards every time he touches it.
And I would think in this series, Ron, it would be mostly run now. You're going into the wind, so get the ball in the hands of those 3 backs.
Thomas and Hill in the lineup at the same time. Double headache if you're on defense. Hill again, Thomas blocking for him, and this time nothing doing. Gaines is the man who comes up and makes the initial stick. And let's check in again with Adrian.
Well, Coach, Ron, one of the things that R.C. Slocum really likes about using 3 separate backs back there is because one play actually becomes 3 different plays because of the different styles. I mean, Hill wants to hit the hole right away. Thompson, kind of a straight-ahead guy. McElroy will kind of fluff a little bit and then hit right at you. Say, for example, a draw becomes 3 separate plays, same diagram, but 3 different plays because of the different running styles.
All right, Adrian, take care of that voice. Pulley set pressure from behind just as he delivers the pass, and is very fortunate that as a flag comes in late.
Was the ball tipped, though, I think is the big question here, whether or not that ball was tipped.
Well, he was fortunate he didn't get hit and fumbled the ball, and it is going to be pass interference against Louisville.
Pressure by Joe Johnson, number 94, 6'3", 250-pound defensive lineman. Corey Pulig with the pressure from the backside. Now, this ball was not tipped.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Interference on 56, Johnny Frost.
Well, Howard's not real happy about that, and you could hear the customary cheer which comes here at A&M, which is sit-down bus driver. There it is again.
Well, he's probably the highest paid bus driver you're going to see. And the best dressed.
And also a heck of a coach. First down for the Aggies as they have it at the 41-yard line. They try to set the screen, and they do to Hill. You see one blocker in front, and then a nice job defensively by 36, Ben Sumter.
Calvin Collins was the lead blocker out on the screen, and what makes a screen pass a good play is the quarterback has to be a little bit of an actor. As he drops back, he has to give a little ground like he is under pressure and then dump the ball over the rush.
(14-7). If you just joined us, we're about to hit the midway point of this second quarter. Aggies on top by a touchdown. Takes it to Hill and then comes back to this side, and nicely played as McKeon made the reception, and again it's Sumter who is there on the tackle.
Ben Sumter's an active linebacker, 6'2", 224-pound senior. And another flag, a little late flag here. Be roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer, defense, 15 yards from the end of the run.
I think Fanning is the man that they got, Mike. Check it out.
Corey Pulig with the fake. The eyes following his tailback. Jay Fanning, number 45. That's who it's called on. Looks like a pretty good hit to me.
Now they had released it for a pretty good time, and I assume that's what he was dropping the flag for. 7:51 left in this second quarter. Again, Thomas and Hill both in the backfield for A&M. Pitch comes to Thomas. This time Hill blocking. Puts the head down, and as you can see, Thomas is the more straight ahead of the runner. He just likes to get his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage and take it tough. Well, coming up tomorrow, NFL Sunday night, ESPN coverage of the National Football League comes to you from Southern California. The Chargers and the Bears. Junior Seau, a two-time Pro Bowler in his club, still in the hunt to defend their divisional crown, and a must-win for Chicago to have a chance at a wild card tomorrow evening. The Bears and the Chargers. Joe Theismann, Mike Patrick, and crew. Play gets snuffed by Johnny Frost, and you can see that the ball carrier just disappeared as soon as the handoff was made.
Frostbite. Johnny Frost, middle linebacker, number 56, red trap on the snap of the ball and stepped up to make the play.
Detron Smith, sophomore out of Lake Highlands, number 44, comes into the game at fullback. It's going to be third down Aggies, and they need about 3 yards to pick up this first. Pressure, gets it away, and in and out of the hands of McKeon. And Mike Tirico, let's check in with you one more time.
To the WAC, Ron, Fresno State hosting Hawaii. It's 51 degrees, a little cool for the Hawaii players. A little razzle-dazzle here. Charlie Jones, from his split end position, goes the distance, 34 yards, add on a punt return. Fresno leads by 14 in the WAC. In the PAC, UCLA, Arizona State, defensive struggle in the third. We've got our eyes on it, Ron.
I'll tell you what, that would indeed be a shocker. And I have a feeling that our director, Chip Bean, probably is curling his toes right now.
With the
former
wind,
Sun Devil.
With the wind in their face, they're going to go for the fourth down play.
McKeon on fourth down gets cracked by Terry Quinn, and the ball will go over.
Read the blitz, threw it right on time, but didn't get enough on it.
Showed us a timeout. Let's take it with them. 6:09 left until halftime, and the Cardinals hold. Leads by 7.
Louisville with the blitz, and number 40, when you do blitz, now he has to move over and take the tight end. Not only does he take the tight end here, he takes his head off. Terry Quinn, number 40, reads the quick pass and delivers the hit and causes the incompleted pass on 4th down.
And as you could see, McKeon was moving open and would have had the first down. But boy, he was not expecting Quinn, and he really got wrapped. Down to 2, gets it away, and Braum, quick pass is incomplete. He wanted Asher as tight end. Kendricks is the man there playing defense.
Well, you talked about it intermission a little bit that A&M's lost a little momentum. Now it's up to the defense. Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator, probably has the same feeling you have. Now he's going to blitz Jeff Braum, play man coverage on the outside, and try to get his defense moving. On the outside, it's man for man. Jeff Braum checked off, but was not able to make the play.
Well, the other thing that the Cardinals have done, they've taken this crowd out of the game somewhat. And this is a tough crowd if you're the opposition. Long for Bailey, overthrown. Adrian Karsten, let's go back to you.
Ron, remember how much we said the wind might play a factor in this game. The pass a little bit long there because of the wind now blowing up to 20 miles per hour. Where Coach Snellenberger told his team, look, guys, we're going to have to win this game in 2 quarters because every point will probably be scored with the wind at their back. So far, 21 of those points, all the points in this game have been scored just that way.
Yeah, that's right, Adrian. And they have 5 minutes and 59 seconds to work with until halftime. Cardinals 2 for 6 on 3rd down conversions tonight. And the line they need to make is just across their own 40. Here comes the blitz in the middle. They pick it up nicely. It's a screen. And Dawkins with a lot of running room. Caught from behind, but he's over midfield. And it's a first down for Louisville. 24 yards.
If you'd ever want to draw up a play against the blitz that Texas A&M was going to run on this play, Howard Snellenberger had the great play. What he has is a screen to number 22. You're going to see the blitz coming. Number 22 is going to set up for the screen. Ralph Dawkins, and now 3 receivers to the right. They're all in man coverage, but what makes the play is the block by Ralph Dawkins. He's able to make the quick block, get off, get into the screen, and pick up valuable yardage for Louisville.
Now Louisville's all-time leading receiver with 146. And Mike, you're exactly right. He did double chores on that one. In fact, if he doesn't pick up the block, they're never able to get the pass play underway.
Well, if he wouldn't have blocked on that, the linebacker would have read the screen.
This is Shellman. Tries to get it to the outside, and he does. Inside the 40-yard line, and is out of bounds at the 39. Mickens comes over.
Number 24, Ray Mickens.
Shellman's kind of a long strider, a little bit a la Eric Dickerson because he runs tall. And, of course, he has the same number on there.
He's an impressive young back. Of course, with the ability of they use Ralph Dawkins so much, you need a backup to Ralph Dawkins because they use him running the football, throwing it. He's a pretty good blocker, so Anthony Shellman is an excellent replacement. Bob Davie, defensive coordinator, trying to stop this train in Louisville. 3 safeties up now. They're in a run defense.
Shellman hit at the line of scrimmage. Sam Adams, number 95, penetrates and makes the tackle almost as soon as the ball was handed off.
Junior White, number 5, makes this play because he's coming up. Watch the free safety. Number 5, he'll come up to give him the 8th defender just before the snap of the ball. See him step up now. Now they have 8 people, and it's too late for Jeff Braum to check off and get out of the play.
it's third down. And the running play, he's not going to have it. Atkinson steps up into the hole, and Shelman is knocked down with maybe a gain of a half yard in the play.
Well, there's no doubt again Howard Schnellenberger is going to go for it. He had a fourth down a little while ago and made the choice to go for it. He'll go again. He's bringing his wide receiver type back in, Ralph Dawkins, and the big back's going out, Anthony Shellman. So I would think, my thought would be it's going to be a pass.
Shotgun formation as Dawkins comes over and sets trips to the left side. Fourth down. Quick pass, overthrown. Asher, he's tight end, was open, but he just threw it too tall.
Too high on the pass, and again, when they replaced Anthony Shellman, you just figured it was going to be a throw because you're going to keep the big back in and short yardage on fourth down. You run the football. Howard took a chance to throw the ball, and A&M stopped him. It's a tight end, Jamie Asher, number 37. You talk about open now. He's open. Ball too high. Michael Hendricks in coverage, number 40.
Kevin Byrne checks into the lineup at wide receiver, number 80. And if the name is familiar, Kevin Byrne's dad was Jim Byrne. He played at Purdue and also spent a good number of years for the Houston Oilers in the National Football League. Kevin's number 80. Pass to the near sideline, and it will be complete to Sharp.
Pass complete to number 86, Greg Sharp.
First down success by Texas A&M throwing the football in the first half.
Corey Pullock, as you look at his numbers, 8 of 12, 67 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That interception led to the Louisville touchdown. So the turnover led to 7 by the Cardinals in this first half. Creeping up to the line of scrimmage, and they turn the corner. If he does, there's a lot of running room. Thomas breaks off the tackle at the 30 and still going hard. What an effort. Rodney Thomas. 35 yards.
Rodney Thomas, and they're going to try to seal everything off. The pitch to Rodney Thomas. Now look at how Louisville's caught inside. Now it becomes up to number 21, Anthony Bridges, to make the stop. He's able to slow him down until help comes along.
You can see Watson, he just butted him out of the way, finally held on long enough to make the stop. 35-yard run. Greg Hill this time. Good block from his teammate Thomas, and he'll take it down close to the 15 as Anthony Bridges is up from the secondary to make the stop. And the clock moving toward halftime. R.C. Slocum. His ball club moving the ball into the wind the first time tonight that either club has had this deep a penetration into the wind. Well, I'll take it back. No, Louisville did in the opening quarter and then threw the interception. Good ahead of steam. He'll pick up a couple close to the first down as Dewberry down at the bottom of the stack for the Cardinals. Coming up at halftime, the Delta Faucet report. Florida State and Notre Dame will have a recap from South Bend. Auburn and Georgia. The shootout there in Miami. Well, it was a little bit tougher test today than maybe they had anticipated. All of that and more coming up at halftime. The Delta Faucet report.
Corey Pullock wants a measurement. He wants to know how far they have to go on third down. 1:22 on the clock, and A&M has all 3 of their timeouts left. This becomes 2-down territory to get this first down. Greg Hill time.
Cliff Gross comes in at fullback. He's nursing an ankle injury. Cliff is not at 100%, but a very tough blocker, number 33. You see him throw the block for Hill, and he'll have the first down Cabano finally finishes him off. 57 seconds left until halftime.
Tim Cavallo.
Good block by Kliff Gross. A&M's going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
So we'll take it with them. 57 seconds until halftime. Aggies by 7 and threatening. Toyota Leadership Award winners this week are from Louisville, defensive end Jim Hanna. He's a senior from West Palm Beach, Florida, majors in finance and has a 3.3 GPA. And from Texas A&M is Jason Atkinson, already graduated with a degree in civil engineering and a 2.7. He's currently in graduate school majoring in business administration. Toyota proud to donate $1,000 to each school's General Scholarship Fund on behalf of these athletes. Corey Pullitt with 57 seconds left until the halftime, and the ball rests at the 12-yard line, and it's first down.
You think roll out to the right side here with the ball in the left hash.
They delivered the pass incomplete. It was not catchable. You could see Harrison maybe a miss in communication because that was well behind him, Mike.
And a good play by Kevin Gaines. Pretty good coverage, but you're right, Ron. I don't know if the wind got a hold of it or what, but it was way behind Tony Harrison. Now you put yourself in a little bit of a bind. You try to show him as you see the slant, the ball way behind. Now do you run a play trying to catch Louisville thinking you're going to throw the football, or do you sprint out to the right here? The decisions for Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator.
And now Pullitt wants to call a timeout.
There's a third decision. Timeout.
So we'll keep it right here, and probably the next question I would ask is the same thing that a lot of Aggie faithful would be asking, and that is what has happened to McElroy here in the second quarter, because you remember he had 47 of the 56 yards on that first drive that they took it in very quickly.
My friend, you see some of the problems that coaches have. Only one football.
That's right.
Greg Hill, Rodney Thomas, Leland McElroy, but they could bring him in at a wide receiver. But you're right, he had a very good first quarter, but not in the ball game.
Boy, here's an update on a huge one. Arizona State. We showed you they were leading 3-0 at the end of the third quarter. UCLA has kicked a field goal. It is the Sun Devils 3 and the Bruins 3. Great one going out west. And speaking of a great one out west, next Saturday here on CFA, we will start off our day Tennessee at Kentucky. That is a 4 o'clock Eastern time start. And, of course, that means an opportunity to look at Heath Shuler, the great quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers. What a year he has had. 21 touchdown passes for him. And Kentucky, they have played good football. Now, they had a tough time today and almost got surprised by East Carolina, but it's been a good year for Bill Curry and his guys. And then the primetime game, 7:30 Eastern time, Mike and I will be in Tallahassee. Adrian, of course, will be with us. And it is Florida State at NC State. And I'm not sure the timing is real good for NC State to have to go to Tallahassee. Whoa.
You go back to the UCLA game. Wayne Cook, I believe, is out, the quarterback for UCLA. I don't think he's playing tonight.
Well, now there's been a timeout called by Louisville. We'll stay here, and let's go down to Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, an answer to coach's situation here and what he's looking forward to. What they want to do, A&M now, depending on what the defense shows them, is a goal line sprint out. They're looking for their tight end at the back of the end zone.
All right, we'll look for that.
What Louisville was able to do on that play, they waited to Texas A&M, the old basketball trick. They waited for A&M to come out, show them the formation they were going to be in, called timeout, so now they can try to figure out the play.
14-7, Texas A&M leads, 53 seconds left until halftime. What a win for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish today. That'll be one of the things that we will have for you on the Delta Faucet halftime report. Lou Holtz and his guys getting a big win over #1 Florida State. And Mike, I would have to think that you would just flip-flop them. That as close as that football game was, that Florida State would drop no further than #2.
Two very fine football teams. It was a good ball game.
You see Hanna and company coming back on the field as the defensive unit trots back out for the Louisville Cardinals. Now Toledo, the offensive coordinator for Texas A&M, sends his charges back out. So the Aggies still have one timeout left. Ball at the 12, and it's 2nd down and 10. Side of the field, still looking, delivers to the end zone. It is caught with a touchdown, Mitchell.
And that's a basketball play, Ron. You put it up for grabs, and Brian Mitchell just was able to out-muscle Anthony Bridges, number 21, for the touchdown.
Way to read it. Good job, baby. Hey, I want that ball, baby. I want that ball, baby. Yeah.
Donatulius with the extra point attempt, trying to put the Aggies back on top by 14. And he's got it. Take one more look, as it looked like Pulig almost had rolled it too far, but then found his man in the end zone, and Mitchell, who was being defended closely, comes away with the catch, and it is Texas A&M 21-7. Here's another look right here. Pulig with the pressure on him. Cavallo providing the pressure, and on the other end, Mitchell out battles Anthony Bridges for the touchdown.
Big score for A&M because it was into the wind.
That's right. First team to score it into the wind. You know, Adrian talked about in the quarter, and what the Louisville coaches had said, that probably most of the scoring, if not all of the scoring, would come with the wind. So the Aggies, as Mike points out, a very important one. See, Howard, that's one of the things coaches have to learn, how to get the attention over the din. So he whistles through his teeth to holler at one of his players. I saw a feature story the other day of a coach who never hollers. He just whistles constantly at his players.
He doesn't play in front of big crowds. Ron, now you have to think, if you're R.C. Slocum, you might want to think about the second half, taking the win and try to finish him off in the third quarter. I mean, that's a thought now that I would give as I went to the locker room. If it's my choice, and I believe it is his choice, I might take the win in the third quarter and try to nail the coffin shut.
Well, again, they're having to get an aide to come up. Ray Mickens will come over to put a hand on the football to keep it from blowing off the tee. Bailey, the deep man. As Donatulius kicks it off for the Texas Aggies. They're up 21-7. Bailey from the 12. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us?
A reminder, Ron, coming up on the Delta Faucet halftime report, the showdown that lived up to the expectations. We'll tell you what the Miami coach thinks should happen in the polls after today's action. We'll look at the other bout could stay unbeaten. All that coming up at halftime.
He's a good guy now, but his numbers weren't all that good. And the Rams, 42 points, the lowest of any team in the preseason. They averaged 9 penalties per game in mid-season form.
Still to come, we've seen the Little Leaguers. It's time now to see the minor leaguers. And Michael steps up to the plate and goes down. History says this was a good day in Major League Baseball. All you have to do is ask Ricky Henderson. And we're going to take you on a Saturday night spin back to Bristol after this.
And remember, you're playing for Bud Light, lady. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good. Who are you calling guys? Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am. When we became environmentally sensitive in America and realized that we couldn't be a waste country anymore, we had to reuse what we have, and we got to use it over and over and over again, the logical place for LP to go was into reclaiming old newspaper. As we go in the direction of making products that are friendly to the environment,
number 8, Chris Colin, has replaced Atkinson in the lineup for Texas A&M. Let's see if they do call a timeout here if Louisville throws an incomplete pass. Pressure up the middle. Braum delivers it, and it is a catch and a lateral back to Baylor. Asher caught it. He tried to make a hook and ladder out of it, but there was not enough fire.
Now there's no sense now because it's only 3rd down. Just let the clock run. But if the pass was incomplete, that would have killed that time. And then after 3rd down's when you use the timeout. But now you just let it go.
Braum. Flag comes down. Clock is run out, and he just throws it for all he's worth, and it's overthrown and incomplete. And let's see who the flag is against. Are we headed to halftime, or is the penalty against Texas A&M? It is personal foul, holding. So that's the end of the first half with our score. Texas A&M 21 and Louisville 7. Stay tuned for the Delta Faucet halftime report. To go down in the Louisville locker room, this is what was being said.
Go after them. We gotta believe in ourselves. Make it happen. Everybody look at everybody else, and everybody look at yourself. Whatever 11's out there, let's go get it like you know how to get it. Jeff Braum is going to make some plays. Our wide receiver is going to make some plays. Our tight end is going to make some plays. Our running backs are going to make some plays. And our defense is going to come down with a big play that'll get this thing turned around, get us on the move.
So, just a couple of moments ago, Howard Schnellenberger allowing our cameras in there, and you could hear part of his halftime talk to the youngsters. And essentially, got to make something happen. Mitchell to the left. Here's McElroy, number 34 to the right. And with the wind that is blowing, he did not have an opportunity on the last kick by Louisville. And I have a feeling he's not going to have an opportunity here because this wind is really beginning to gust. Suspected that one's going to be out of the back of the end zone as well.
Stats, Ron. Of course, I think the big thing for Louisville is 39 yards rushing. The inability to run the football, which is making them one-dimensional in this ball game. Time of possession, 17-13, so they've had time with the football. Key play was that 4th down play where they were not able to hit Jamie Asher on 4th down. He was wide open to keep that drive moving and go in for a score.
Yeah, that was probably the worst pass that he threw in that first 30 minutes of football. See the numbers on Pullick. 9 of 14, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Greg Hill, big opening, and Bridges will step up to make the hit on him.
Corey Pullick in the first half, and if you notice here to the right side, because he's a right-handed quarterback, a lot of play action where he's been able to dump the ball off to his fullback. In the first half, Rodney Thomas, number 20, for a lot of big plays. 6 for 6 and a touchdown into the flat.
That's a nice job by Kevin Gaines as he fills nicely, and that play will go for nothing.
You look in the first half, nothing for Texas A&M inside against Louisville. 8 carries for only 15 yards. They had some success on the outside, picking up 102 yards on the outside, 9 carries.
So here's the situation. It's 3rd down, and for A&M to keep this drive alive, they're going to have to take it out to the 30. They lead 21-7. Pullick over the middle, had him missed him. Tony Harrison might have lost his footing, but they just missed connection there.
As wide open as Tony Harrison was, he should have pulled up. Tony Harrison, number 3, is wide open. He should have pulled up in that area and just made it an easy throw for Corey Pullig.
This is the first time that we've seen James Bennett tonight. First punt by Texas A&M.
Again, Louisville has to use the wind to their advantage here in the third quarter.
Pressure coming after him, and look at the wind. Just take this punt and hold it up. Fair catch by Bailey, and he'll make it at the 43. 34 yards in the punt, and here are the numbers on Jeff Brom. We talked about him off the top of the telecast. Well, what about his first half?
Well, the key for Bob Davie in the defense is not allowing many deep throws. He's 7 out of 16 for 73 yards and 1 big interception.
Shellman and Dawkins both in the backfield. And as the Cardinals open it up with a shotgun formation, pumps it once, then on top, and he's got Dawkins out of the backfield. Foot race no longer. He will score the touchdown. And there is a flag at the 16-yard line.
The call run as the receiver went out of bounds and came back in. Late flag.
Illegal touching. A receiver went out of bounds, came in and first touched the ball. Penalty is loss of down.
Tough thing about that play, too, Ron, it's a loss of down. Ralph Dawkins on the wheel route. You bring the back out in the flat, and all of a sudden you take him upfield against the linebacker, Steve Solari. Number 22, Ralph Dawkins, going to fake like he's going outside. Now he breaks up the field against the linebacker, Steve Solari, and this is a mismatch in the favor of Louisville, but he went out of bounds.
And he was not forced out.
Not forced out. No one touched the ball before he touched it.
Well, Howard is out on the field by 10 yards. And you can understand why. You hit a home run, you get it called back. Fake the screen to the left, and they throw it back to the right. Nobody is there, and that'll bring up a third down. And Mike, here is a final score from the West Coast. Arizona State 9, UCLA 3.
Tough loss for UCLA, again, without their quarterback, Wayne Cook. Now Arizona State becomes alive for a bowl bid.
And Southern California is in a good position. Yes, they are. It's Cook. He was redirecting to the near side. Third down, and they need to take it to the A&M 47. Braun zings it. Has it incomplete at the 35. Glenn defensively as Bailey had it go in and out of his hands.
Aaron Glenn with a good defensive play. Aaron Bailey is going to go down and hook. Just run a short post and hook. The ball behind him a little bit. He almost had it on the the deflection, but again, Aaron Glenn with good coverage.
There's Glenn, who was involved in the deflection a moment ago.
After you have a big defensive play, Ron, then sometimes you come back with a big punt return.
Yeah, this is the guy who can do it. But this one here is going to be all the way into the end zone. That's going to be a 57-yard kick. So let's take a break. 21-7, Texas A&M.
You've never seen a camcorder like the Sharp View Cam. The viewfinder gone. Replaced with this LCD view screen. You're right in the action. Gretzky scores? Let's go to the replay. Then, play it back instantly with color and sound. Want to see that again?
The Sharp View Cam. An absolute original.
So your first goal, Ty, and birthdays, graduations, your wedding, your kids, my grandchildren?
Football.
Real football.
On real grass.
Lambeau Field and snow.
No, too obvious. What about the fearsome foursome?
The Purple People Eaters.
Carl Ellen.
No-name defense.
The Oakland Raiders.
Baltimore Colts.
Hey, Mike Curtis.
Ray Nitschke.
Willie Lanier.
Immaculate reception.
Franco's Italian.
Oh, real fullback.
Franco Harris, Marv Hubbard, take your pick.
No. The Snake to Clarence Davis, 26 seconds left. AFC semifinals versus Miami.
Beechwood aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
The new four-wheel drive 175 horsepower Isuzu Rodeo. It's the vehicle some of you have been waiting for a long time. The Isuzu Rodeo, practically amazing.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football is brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives, and by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural. Proud to be your Bud.
Some of the Corps of Cadets here at Texas A&M University. And our score is 21-7 with the Aggies on top. You know, Louisville came and played here at this stadium last year. And one of the things that Howard Schnellenberger said last night to us is that it helps to have been here once before to get a little bit of an idea of what to expect. Still doesn't make it easy. It is a tough place to play. McElroy in the ball game, Mike, didn't see him in the second quarter that I can recall, and they've got him lined up at a receiver spot. And still gets it to the outside. It's going to be a gain of about 7, and Cavallo is there to make the stop.
Ron, I just can't emphasize enough what Howard Schnellenberger has done with the Louisville program. In the local paper last week, one of the newspapermen wrote that they haven't beaten anybody, but if you go back to 1985 when he took this job over, they lost to Eastern Kentucky by 24 points. The program was down. He came in, and now this is a nationally known program. Beat Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl, going to the Liberty Bowl. This guy has done a tremendous job. Beat Texas at home. Arizona State, who beat UCLA tonight. I just can't say enough about the job this man's done.
You are exactly right. Hill, nothing there. Going to turn it back to the other direction and will pick up maybe a yard on the play. Well, one of the things that has not gone his way, speaking of Howard Schnellenberger, and that is we asked him his thoughts on the coalition for the bowl games.
I know it's unfair and it's a restraint of trade and it's probably illegal. And for that reason, we felt we had to take the bid from the Liberty Bowl, because if we went undefeated and ended up 10-1, we couldn't have gone to a more prestigious bowl than the Liberty Bowl. And that's not right for the kids to be saddled with that from the time they come to the University of Louisville until they leave.
Well, Mike, we're glad they're going to the Liberty Bowl. We have that bowl game in Memphis, and don't know who the opponent's going to be yet. We keep hearing inklings of an idea that it might be Michigan State of the Big Ten.
I think it will be Michigan State, Ron, and I couldn't agree more with Howard Schnellenberger. And there's a state senator in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, who's taking it to the next step to the Justice Department, and they're going to give it a prompt review about this coalition. So there's a lot of people unhappy with the coalition. Howard's not the only one.
First and 10, the line of scrimmage is the 32. Thomas, quick hitter, and he goes for 6, maybe 7 yards. Sumter finally puts a stop on him. Watson is also there.
What R.C. Slocum would like to see is this clock disappear in the third quarter. Just burn the time with the ball on the ground and then give me the ball with the fourth quarter in the wind.
Well, he's got a situation with these running backs where he can do that. In fact, I was a little surprised in the second quarter when they were going into the win on that one drive after they had scored that they threw the ball as much as they did. running play. Trap block didn't get there. Going to be a gain of 1, and that's all.
Ron, the other thing about Louisville, they finally now have talked Kentucky into playing them, and they're going to open next year. And when you look at where this program, again, has come to, they're going to build their own stadium. They told me that there's $15 million been raised by the fans in the state of Kentucky to build a new facility. So it's just come a long way in Louisville since the Lee Corso days and Frank Camp, 2 outstanding coaches.
And they're looking at, what, 2 years away from now for the stadium to be done. Running play by A&M again, and that's going to be enough for the first down. And Adrian Karsten, what do you have?
Well, you mentioned the success of Coach Snellenberger, and really very impressive. But who taught him to teach some of the guys that he has taught? At Kentucky, Blanton Collier, whom he worked with in 59 and 60. Off to Tuscaloosa, where the Bear influenced him for 4 years. In Los Angeles in the late 60s, the late George Allen had him on the staff. And in his days with the Dolphins, he coordinated the 1972 offense that still is the only undefeated NFL team in history, Ron.
Yep, that's... I saw that football team play and win over the Minnesota Vikings. Larry Zonka and company, that was an awesome group. Hill, counter trade the other direction, and here he goes. Greg Hill has the first down. It's going to be a gain of 12 on first down. And the big thing right now, and Mike, you have to wonder, if 12 yards on first down here on this running play, if maybe that Louisville defense is tiring just a little bit.
Well, it's hammer time now, because this is what A&M does best, run the football. Good blocking by Jason Matthews, number 67. But when you alternate backs, keep them fresh, you got that big offensive line. They're 289, 267, 268, 285, 260 across the front. Now they're trying to hammer Louisville.
Hill and Thomas in the backfield again. And they fake the play, and Pullock falls down. Now, he kicked the ball out of his own hand. The ball is dead at the 47-yard line. But they faked the play that they were successful with a moment ago, and they're going to wind up losing about 8 yards.
Big loss, too, because they've had success running the football. Now the little fake trying to get Corey Pullock outside. He just trips and falls down, and ball's dead, but a big loss, forcing him into a 2nd and 18. As you look at Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator.
Looks as though he might have gotten his feet tangled with Greg Hill as he went by him after the fake. 7:55 remaining, third quarter. A&M 21, Louisville 7. That's the Gross, the fullback. Kliff makes a turn, and he'll take it to the 42. Well, he's playing on an injured ankle, but it didn't look as though it was that sore on that play. Made a good cut.
Good pickup. Now you have to think it's third down. Now they're back in rhythm again. Now you're 3rd and 7. Corey Pullock runs the screen pass extremely well. Would be a good call right now. 11 out of 17, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 7 is a good screen down.
He'll be knocked down by Joe Johnson. And you could see that they had walled off everybody else, but Johnson continued to work, and it's a loss of 10.
Well, Joe Johnson just didn't beat 1 block. He's going to beat 2 blocks. They tried to double him with the tackle Dexter Wesley, number 75, and the fullback. Joe Johnson just beat both of them, sacked Corey Pullock for a big play.
Punter Bennett. Wynn's going to hold this one up. Knuckleball as Bailey calls for a fair catch. And let's take a break. 6:17 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Takes you to another level. You feel like you're floating on air. The competition is so thick and so tight that you can cut it with a knife. National championship game between 1 and 2 is nothing compared to this.
Well, it's the battle for supremacy between Texas and Texas A&M. the 100th meeting between those two schools, and we'll be right back here in College Station 11 nights from now to bring that to you on Thanksgiving evening. So you can digest your turkey and sit down and enjoy what is always a very competitive football game. Brom fakes the run out of the shotgun. Now throws it incomplete, and Dawkins was well covered. Mike, I mentioned earlier that Brom, one of the things that the coaches said that they had to work long and hard. He was such a good runner in high school, and he would take off and run. They won a state championship his senior year, but they said you got to stay in the pockets. You got to learn how to either throw from the shotgun or with a 7-step drop, and he has worked very hard on both and has really improved with that. Drills this one, and it's intercepted by Glenn. Touchdown, Aggies. Yards on the return by Aaron Glenn. Point by Venetoulias, knocks it home. It's the second interception by Glenn of the season, the first for a touchdown for A&M. 28-7 now with the defensive score by Texas A&M.
Bob Davie talks about Aaron Glenn. He said he may be the best corner we've ever had here at Texas A&M, but he makes a great break on the ball. Ball's thrown, see the break, he steps in front of the receiver. The junior college transfer who played his first game against Stanford in the opener a year ago.
Well, Brom now with 2 interceptions, and Mike a little bit in his defense. If Cook had felt the defensive back, he would have taken a step toward his quarterback and could have alleviated possibility that ball being picked off, let alone a touchdown coming.
Good interception.
It really was. Boy, he broke on it nicely.
Again, the win, we talked about it all night. Another score for A&M into the teeth of the wind.
This one on the ground. Bailey still can't corral it. Does at the 17 and then is knocked down immediately. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
The way the Aggies are playing right now in special teams, particularly on defense, Ron, with that last touch on, direct result of a challenge that came out of their locker room at halftime. Sam Adams, new leader of the wrecking crew, well, to use his words, he said, guys, let's spit into the wind and score this quarter.
Well, they did just that. By the way, Adrian, Glenn likes ESPN because I said this is his second interception this year, the first for the Aggies for a touchdown. Remember, he had an interception return against Texas last year, 95 yards. So he has done well when our cameras have been around. Pumps it, now flips it out to Shellman. Shellman puts the head down, and he'll pick up a couple.
Now with a 21-point lead, A&M can afford now to bring in the nickel back, Steve Kinney, and just leave him on the field. Not substituting, just leave number 36 on the field with the extra defensive back against the no huddle.
Roll the pocket to this side this time. Going to go for Bailey, and it's just beyond his reach. It was Mickens who had the cover for Texas A&M.
You watch Ray Mickens, number 24, in the back pedal. He didn't really bite on the out route by Aaron Bailey, but he still Aaron Bailey still behind Ray Mickens, just the throws over his head.
Well, Mickens had the cover. Mike, it's been very tough to throw on these corners from Texas A&M, hasn't it? There's a grab out at the 34 as Cook makes the reception on that one. So Mickens is out, and Mitchell comes in replacing him. As you look at Mickens on the near sideline as they're attending to him. Sophomore out of El Paso Andrus High School. Mike, the yards that Louisville picked up just a moment ago, the first positive yards that they have got in this third quarter. They've still got plenty of time, though, with 5:12 left and the wind at their back. Shellman with the running play, going to be belted by Larry Jackson.
Defensive A&M has so much quickness. Linebackers can run, and they've got the full force up inside. Number 37, Larry Jackson, the linebacker, the left linebacker, just steps up, beats, goes underneath the block. Ralph Dawkins ran by him, and he made the tackle on Anthony Shellman. As you see, Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator.
Intercepted by Atkinson. He got hit from behind by England, and the ball almost went into Jason Atkinson's hand.
Well, Jason Atkinson was certainly surprised because he was so close to Jeff Brom. Never expected probably that football was going to come to him. Good pressure by Eric England, number 92. Number 43, Jason Atkinson, all of a sudden ready to break down. He just didn't have his hands up ready to make the catch. Surprise.
Mike, we mentioned that UCLA has already been upset out west by Arizona State. How about, as the scorers came in there just a moment ago, Wyoming being knocked off by New Mexico today.
The driver's seat in the WAC now is Lavelle Edwards and the BYU Cougars.
Brom has hit only 4 of his last 14 passes. Throws it complete, and again, Dawkins is hit immediately, this time Steve Kennedy.
That's the ability of A&M to bring in the nickel back. Now when you have a 21-point lead, you just leave him on the field. You have the extra defensive back. Steve Kinney makes the play.
Brookfield to punt it away with the wind at his back. He had a 57-yarder, you remember, with the wind in that second quarter. And Glenn have done a pretty good job of keeping it away from him tonight. Kicks it away from him, bounds at the 5 and goes into the end zone. So coming up next Saturday here on ESPN, this is what the schedule looks like. We'll start off in the afternoon at Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Tennessee, number 6 of the nation, taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. And then the primetime game, we will be in Tallahassee, Florida, North Carolina State at Florida State. That is 7:30 Eastern Time. So Tennessee, Kentucky, and NC State and Florida State are doubleheader for next weekend.
I'd say Kentucky's in a little bit of trouble with Tennessee. I think they're 34-1 since 1984 in the month of November. Pretty good record.
You know, Mike, and I'm not so sure. Doesn't count if you've already lost and have a tie, though. If Tennessee probably is playing best of anybody in the Southeastern Conference now.
2, 3, 4 plays away from being undefeated.
They really are. Rodney Thomas breaks one. Can't get out of the grasp of the second tackler, Darius Watson. But it's going to be a gain of 8 yards. And the Aggies in the second half have really done a good job in first down. They have played a lot with second and short.
Been a smash mouth football game for A&M on offense in the third quarter. All running. Ability to run the football, control the clock.
McElroy comes in the ball game again, and he's lined up bottom of your screen. You see number 34 there as a receiver.
In a screen the last time in that set.
Thomas bounces outside. Flag comes down. He'll have the first down. Gaines comes up to make the hit. Now let's see what this flag is about. holding A&M.
Holding on the offense. We'll repeat second down.
(28-7), Texas A&M leads, and the last touchdown that they got came here in the third quarter from the defense. Aaron Glenn with an interception, taking it 40 yards for the score. Bridges, and McElroy, as soon as he caught it, he got met. And Lynn is going to come to the sideline. I'm not sure he knows where he is right now.
Well, Ty Smith, the defensive coordinator, told me Anthony Bridges, after a play's over, he can tell you where every receiver's at, and he knows where Leland McElroy is on this play. Wow, what a hit. But he said he's a coach on the field. Number 21, Anthony Bridges.
The redshirt freshman. Strange ways of getting an education. That is part of his education right there.
Well, that wasn't really his fault.
Thomas is going to be stopped before he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and they'll have to punt it away. Time of possession in this quarter, Mike. This is what the doctor ordered for R.C. Slocum. A&M 10:49 and Louisville only 3:13.
So they only had it for 3:13 with the wind at their back, and there's only a minute 20 to go in this quarter.
Now Bailey with another opportunity.
You go after the kick here if you're Louisville. You try to block this one because it shouldn't travel far enough to get a good return, so you go for the block. To wait till the ball snapped.
One of the little intricacies of the game of football.
Unless A&M jumped.
Rico Clark looked as though he was the man that jumped across number 1.
I think it's going to be called on
dead
A&M.
ball, illegal procedure on the offense.
And that's the reason Rico came
Still
early.
60
seconds exactly left in the third quarter.
Now you go after it again, Ron. 4th and long yardage, 4th and 16. You sell out to block this kick.
James Bennett now standing at his own goal line. Boy, he will not get by the second wave. It's a 33-yard kick. And let's go down to Adrian Karsten again.
Ron, a player for all college football fans to keep their eyes on. Number 60, the long snapper for Texas A&M. His name is Dale Red. Could be the best in the nation at what he does. Long snaps, and that's all he does. Look at him, hesitate. Now, head downfield in coverage. In 3 years, never had a single bad snap, and with coverage like that, look at that. One of the reasons A&M only averages or gives up a total of 2.8 yards on an average punt return. 200 snaps every single day in summer practice.
Spoken like a true long snapper.
And Adrian, he told me, by the way, that his key to success is he doesn't overload with barbecue.
Like our long snapper does, right?
Brom rolls the pocket to the left, wants to throw back a screen, and there's nobody there. Wanted to go to a tight end, James Asher, on the screen. I think he just threw it away because there were too many A&M shirts right there in the middle of the group. Tackleman and Sam Adams, speaking of two. You know who really has not been a big factor in this game, and he has in every game they played, is Dawkins. With the exception of the one play, got loose on that he had stepped out of bounds, and it cost him a touchdown.
They've doubled him a lot, Ron. And the other thing is Antonio Shorter. Now this becomes his type of game. Number 56 for the pass rush.
44 seconds left left in the third quarter. Pass complete, and they get it to Asher. Mickens is there to make the stop, and clock coming down. This may be the last play of the third quarter, so the last time his club will have it with the wind in this game. Kenny checks in, so they get the extra defensive back into the game, and Eric England comes to the sideline. Running play, Dawkins. Hit and goes inside the 40, Steve Kenny, who just checked in, and that'll do it. That's the end of the third quarter. So let's take a break as we head to the final 15 here at College Station. Aggies by 21. Home fans here at College Station, Texas, and why not? 28-7. Their Aggies have led this one all the way. Jumped out in front 14-0 in the first quarter and looked as though they might make a rout of it. Then the Cardinals came back after an interception and put it in the end zone to cut it to 14-7. But aided by a defensive score and a good drive into the win, and the Aggies now on top by 21. Fourth down. Brom puts an air under this one and has it complete. Cook at the 20, and then he gets stood up hard. Oh my goodness. It's quite a hit by Hendricks. 24 yards though, and a first down by the Cardinals.
Well, Kevin Cook, when you talk to the Louisville coaches, Gary North said he's our possession receiver. Number 5. So on fourth down against Aaron Glenn, number 31, Jeff Brom is able to put the ball right on the money.
Running play, and Fitzpatrick bumped out of bounds by Larry Jackson. Let's see, they're going to spot him at the 13.
Chris Fitzpatrick's brother coaches for the University of Houston. Tony Fitzpatrick played nose guard for Howard in Miami. Texas A&M winning first downs, 14 out of 20 with 4 downs or more. 4 yards or more.
Kevin Cook, senior out of Columbus, Ohio. Brom looks up at the clock. Plenty of time at the 25-second clock. Wants to throw the ball, hit, it's loose, and that is advanceable, now has been kicked. Picked up by A&M's Antonio Shorter, and he is down to the Louisville 40-yard line.
One of the receivers they were going to try to throw the football to is Jeff Brown. Ralph Dawkins, who can throw the football, just didn't have the time, and Louisville commits their third turnover.
It was Hendricks who made the hit, Mike.
Jeff Brom, after he gives the football up, is going to be a pass receiver. There's Michael Hendricks, number 40, with the hit.
See, Shorter waits to take it on the short hop, so to speak, and look who made the tackle. Number 11, Jeff Brom.
Good pressure by Michael Hendricks. Nice call by Bob Davey, the defensive coordinator.
Smith in the I formation, but they throw it, and it's complete to Tony Harrison, and now here comes the flag. Harrison with the completion, and I think that Gaines must have grabbed his face mask as Brom is trying to walk it off over on the sideline after making the tackle on Shorter to keep him from scoring. That's the call. Face mask against Louisville. Adrian, let's get a report from you.
It's his left knee, the injury to Jeff Brom, when he tried to make up for that mistake and actually come down and make the tackle. Whether he comes back in on the next offensive series is yet to be determined, Ron.
Backup is Marty Lowe, a sophomore. We talked about him winning the state championship. He played for Trinity High School in Louisville, and his brother was a receiver that went to Louisville.
Well, Hendricks is a man that started the whole thing as you look at Brom. And as far as Lowe is concerned, he does get a considerable number of snaps in practice because Braun has class. It takes him out of 1 full practice 1 day a week. Thomas, big opening. 10-5, touchdown A&M.
Big block by Greg Short, number 86. And then once you get the running back Rodney Thomas gone, it's tough to stop. He ran right through Anthony Bridges, number 21. And fans here like to score because they always kiss after a touchdown, right?
You allowed to kiss your date. That's right.
I see so many people kissing around here. You wonder why, but it's after all the touchdowns they score here.
That's exactly right. It was long. As that practice doesn't move up to the booth.
It won't.
Good snap. Benitulius has the extra point. So with 13:55 left in the ball game. New score. Aggies 35. Louisville 7. Welcome back to College Station, Texas. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Adrian Karsten. A young man who could become a member of the 12th man here at Texas A&M. Enjoying what he's seeing tonight is over on the Louisville bench. We mentioned off the top of the telecast that this might not be a good time to come to town because the Aggies lost a place in the standings when they didn't play. They're looking for respect and just looking for an example. And right now they're up 35-7 over a good Louisville team. Schnellenberger continues to pace on that far sideline. Mike, we were just talking during the timeout that Louisville on their way to losing the 3rd game of the season, but the teams that they're going to wind up losing to have a pretty good cumulative record.
If you're a Louisville fan, you shouldn't let this loss diminish anything hopes as far as this ball club, because they've lost to West Virginia. 0 losses for West Virginia. Tennessee, who might well be one of the 4 best teams in the country, and Texas A&M, who only has 1 loss. So when you play that tight schedule and you play them on the road, it's difficult. But this Louisville program has nothing to be ashamed of.
Sam Adams, he breaks off the tackle of Adams. Now throws. It is tipped and intercepted. Billy Mitchell at the 10, and he's down to the 5. 1st and goal, Texas A&M.
Sam Adams made that play, Ron, because he pressured Jeff Brom. Billy Mitchell with the interception, number 22. He looked like a running back once he got the football. Sam Adams was the player that made this happen. Number 95 with pressure. He beats the block of Jermaine Williams. Jeff Brom now on the run. Throws the ball through the hands of a receiver. Tip, number 22, Billy Mitchell. Then becomes a pretty good running back.
Another score to update you on that North Carolina team that we saw last week. Now up 28-10 over Tulane at the end of 3 quarters. And by the way, Clemson today. How about the Tigers? A big win over Virginia.
Virginia's always had problems at Death Valley.
Takes the run. Flag is down. Pass thrown complete. And touchdown Texas A&M. Now let's see if McKeon will be given the touchdown or not.
Question I have for you, Ron, being a Texas person here. Do they kiss before the penalty is decided or not?
I'm sure that everyone takes advantage of the situation as long as they can. So McKeon is given credit for the touchdown. He is a junior out of Willis, Texas, 6'4", 231. Well, see, this guy said they didn't get it on camera, so let's do it again.
Well, he said, hey, there's a penalty. Let me kiss you before, and as soon as we get it, we'll kiss him again.
Well, on games that are going to be high scoring, they sell a lot of lip ice around here.
I'll tell you
a lot of
thing
chapped
is,
lips.
you want to come to a game with a date.
Venetoulias, and he's been very busy in the last few moments. We'll take a break. 42-7, Texas A&M. Yeah, there are some interesting scenarios out there. And a couple of surprises that we've talked about. One that, as you mentioned, UCLA. They lose their quarterback and lose the ball game to the Sun Devils. Wyoming that gets beat, so that throws a wrinkle into that conference race. Adrian, what do you have for us?
Talking about Sam Adams, the foreman of the wrecking crew, Ron. Take a look at the pressure he puts on the quarterback to force the interception, which eventually will set up the touchdown. He has actually redesigned the scheme of this defense. It used to be to keep all the pressure off the linebackers, but because of his size and his speed and his quickness, he's become one of college football's Final Four to be named the best lineman in college football. Backing him up, perhaps in second position, Derek Brooks had the ankle injury today. Needs a big game in our game next week against NC State. Rob Waldrop, Arizona's outstanding nose guard. Well, Bill Walsh called him one of the best in the nation, if not the best. And Aaron Taylor in their win today against FSU. Notre Dame becomes #1. Taylor, one of the big reasons the Irish rush for over 270 a game.
This is Shellman with the big run, and #7, Matty Lowe, Mike, is at quarterback. So I don't know if that means that Jeff Brom's knee is worse than we had thought, or just the fact that with the ball game and the shape it's in, that Marty Lowe will get an opportunity to play. Anyway,
well, if there's anything wrong with Jeff Brom, you take him out now, because down 42-7, you got that pass rush coming after you. Rest your first-team quarterback.
Shellman again, and a big gainer off the right side, and in fact across midfield. Junior White comes up to make the tackle. You mentioned Marty Lowe is a sophomore out of Chattanooga, and he gets a lot of opportunities in practice simply because of the class schedule of Jeff Brom. There's one day that Jeff can't be there, so he gets the workout and the reps at quarterback. The reason for the big cheer is the rain started coming down really hard, and then all of a sudden it just ended. So the crowd is up, and they're cheering everything tonight. Coming up next, college football scoreboard show. Hendricks on Shellman as he comes up and puts the headgear on him. Jeff Brom on the sideline, and it looks as though that they have just decided that it is an opportunity for Lowe to get some snaps and get some game competition.
They were never able to get their running game going tonight, so they never really could keep the A&M defense off balance.
Quick handoff, and Dawkins is going to be slung down hard by Sam Adams at the line of scrimmage. We have checked on the bench, and they say it has nothing to do with the injury. They just want Lowe to get some game experience.
Marty Lowe's the quarterback next year for Louisville when they come back in next season. And I think their first game is Kentucky. They've done a nice job in Louisville matching Kentucky. Now they're winning battles in recruiting.
Well, that game, I think, is going to be at Commonwealth Stadium, isn't it?
They'll talk a lot about that one through the summer.
Lowe zings the pass, incomplete. Aaron Glenn was the closest person to it.
Talk about the differences in program, Ron. I think that Louisville's been on television 7 times. I believe Texas A&M's been on 78 times. So this gives you an idea where they're coming from.
Try not to pass you up. Get ready to catch it. Get ready to catch it.
The running game, Mike talked about it. A couple of numbers here that as soon as this punt is done, we'll give you. The 2, and they can't get it. So it's touchback, and let's take a break. 11:27 left of the ball game. All Texas A&M.
There's a timeout on the field.
A&M Consolidated, which is right here in the Bryan College Station area. And he'll have McElroy and Smith behind him. McElroy with a handoff. Glides to the outside. Has 5, 8, and 9 yards as Bridges knocked his feet out from under him. So to put a period on Corey Pullen, his number is 14 of 20, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight, and he did have the 1 interception as there is a flag down at the 31.
Talked about the running game of Louisville tonight. While Jeff Brown was quarterbacking on 28 running attempts, they gained 23 yards.
Well, that makes it extremely difficult.
Personal foul, defense, first down.
Residents in college football scoreboard, and that is coming up next immediately after our ball game. Maybe 11:15 to play. And that's a nice open field tackle by Bridges, and you can see that flag come airborne from over on the near side of the field. And it's going to be holding against the Aggies. One of the things about Preston, Pullock went down with a knee injury in the spring, so he got a lot of reps this spring. He got a lot of playing time, and he has a very strong arm, throws the ball well, and has some very good mobility. Tommy is getting an opportunity to play tonight with his football team on top by a count of 42-7. Next Saturday in the afternoon.
Offense. 10-yard.
Next Saturday afternoon, it will be Tennessee at Kentucky, and then the primetime game is from Tallahassee, North Carolina State at Florida State.
Ron, with that penalty now, Texas A&M will be first down and 19 yards to go.
Pocket, zips the pass, and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
Good hit by Anthony Bridges. Again, number 21. Right on the spot. Hayward Clay, number 85, was the intended pass receiver. Anthony Bridges, a tough corner, 5'9", 165.
7 interceptions this season. Lowry, number 17, is coming at wide receiver for the Aggies. Preston right over the middle, throws it complete, and then the hit is made, and it's going to be to the 40-yard line, and it'll be a third down. And A&M still needs about 14 yards to pick up the first as Smith and circled out of the backfield for the reception.
Johnny Frost, the middle linebacker, read the play from the start. He was right there to make the tackle on Smith, the fullback.
Left to play in this one. Preston looking, hit from behind. Was it a forward pass or what? Picked up by Smith. Detron Smith will take it to midfield. Will not be enough for the first down, but it's Joe Johnson who hit him from behind and knocked the ball loose.
Well, that's the kind of night it's been for Louisville. Joe Johnson with a big play, number 94, sacks the quarterback, knocks the ball out of Tommy Preston's hands. Good pass rush by Joe Johnson. He just never gives up. Now causes the fumble, but the way the bounces have gone tonight for A&M, it bounces right to Detron Smith, number 44, and he picks up yardage.
So James Bennett with an opportunity to punt with the wind for a change. You can see a few umbrellas still in existence here as the sprinkles have started again. Kick will bound at the 10, and Aggies can't get there. It'll be touched back and back to the 20. Well, this is what's on schedule for tomorrow. NFL Game Day begins at noon Eastern Time. No Sunday is complete without it. And tomorrow's top stories: rookie versus veteran. New star Willie Roth of the Saints And his biggest test, well, he'll go up against Reggie White. And then a veteran quarterback released this past week. We'll visit Cleveland and find out why they let Bernie Kosar go. Then NFL primetime, 7 o'clock Eastern time. All today's scores and highlights, including the second-place Raiders beating the front-running Chiefs in the AFC West. And then tomorrow evening, it's the Bears and the Chargers. 8 o'clock Eastern time. That is our full Sunday schedule here on ESPN. Breaks it out over the 30-yard line. That's going to be a gain of close to 10 on the play as Kenny is there defensively.
You look at a couple. You look at a score there. Youngstown State, the leading team in Division I AA, falls. And then Marshall, the number 2 team, gets beat. But Ron, 2 big plays. The 4th down play in the first half where they overthrew the ball to Jamie Asher. That was one. And then the second play where Ralph Dawkins was out of bounds and came back in and made the catch. 2 big plays that went against Louisville.
Were you right? Because momentum-wise, the long strike to Dawkins could have been huge in this game as far as momentum. Dawkins this time goes for a short one. Here's another update out west. Fresno State 42-7 over Hawaii, and that's with 3:27 left in the third. I thought after your game on Thursday night that there were no touchdowns left in that conference, but
well, Lavelle Edwards is sitting home tonight. And he has to have a smile on his face because with Wyoming going to New Mexico and losing, I mean, he is in great shape to win the WAC and make a trip to the Holiday Bowl. And he lost 4 games in a row. So all of a sudden, BYU is back. And Howard Snellenberger's looking forward to the Liberty Bowl. Had a fine season. Tough night tonight. When he took the job, Ron, they interviewed him. They said, how long do you think it's going to take to get this program back? He said, 15 years. First guy I've ever seen say 15 years. Usually you say 5, 4. And Howard has a good record. He said 15 years, and he's brought this program back a lot quicker than 15 years.
But the thing that you also have to do, I mentioned that he said his players know College Station because they were here last year. Well, when you come to a place like this to play 2 years in a row, there's a pretty good percentage that you're going to come away with 2 losses because this is an extremely tough last week. 97,000 in Knoxville to play an awfully good Tennessee team. But that's what you have to do when you're in the process of getting that program to another plateau.
Louisville's done a good job. Their basketball program, their athletic director, Bill Olson, of trading basketball games. Teams would call Louisville and say, we want to play in basketball. He'd say, okay, we'll play in basketball, but you're going to play us in football also. Well, and that's how they got their schedule, Ron. I mean, they were able to put people on the schedule. Isn't it hunting season in this?
Yeah, deer season.
Hunting cardinal tonight, but I mean, it is hunting season. He said that they thought the crowd would be down tonight, and he said, why? And they said hunting season, but I don't think anybody went hunting tonight, except on the field.
There are a few that are watching this game from hunting cabins around this state, I would imagine, Mike. Just off the side of the foot, but you're right, it doesn't look like too many did, and they hunted cardinals extremely well tonight. By the way, we mentioned early on in the telecast that R.C. Slocum in the morning with an administrative group from Texas A&M will hop on a plane and fly to Kansas City and go in front of the NCAA. And, you know, this has been hanging around now for 11 months at this school. And with the fate of this program actually in jeopardy, I guess you'd have to say, you know, winning, R.C. says, has become secondary. And we'll get that interview here in just a second after they run this first play. Straight ahead with Smith, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And here's a part of that interview that we shot yesterday.
The one thing that I had taken the most pride in, and I think our people had, is that we were winning, but we were winning the right way and winning by the rules. So still, to me, the winning doesn't, winning this season doesn't do it all for me and for the people that are closely associated with A&M. this has overshadowed the winning, I would say. You know, the old thing of just win, everything be okay, that's not true at all. To me, winning and having some dignity about the way you win, that means a whole lot.
So in the morning, RC and the group from Texas A&M will journey up to Kansas City. The most difficult thing about this, Mike, is the fact that 11 months is an awfully long time for this thing to have been drawn out. And it seems like rather than talk about football at every media day, before every football game and after, it was there and has been present for the players as well. The suspensions have been served. The players have paid back the money. Cotton Bowl rings were taken away. But was there lack of institutional control is one of the things that they have to explain tomorrow to the NCAA, which could cost them scholarships, and I mean, they could get a probation out of it. The pass is complete at the 46.
As a coach, Ron, you do everything in your power to run it the right way and within the rules, and that's the frustration that R.C. Slocum's talking about. He feels like he has done that. He has run the program the right way. So we'll see what happens.
You know, one of the things that has been difficult in living in this part of the country for almost 25 years is this conference has undergone the tightest scrutiny. They have been under a microscope for as long as I can remember down here. Part of it has been brought on by themselves, but the other part, it is extremely difficult. As the corner is turned and he's down to the 35, now the 34-yard line. But I guess the point that I'm making, I don't think that college football is rotten by any means, but I can promise you this. If the rest of college football was put under the same microscope by the media and by the NCAA that the Southwest has been under, I think there'd be a few more victims. And sometimes I wonder, you know, how far things should go, because there are now 8 professional teams in this state. And when Southwest Conference teams get publicity, it's not always positive by any shape of the imagination. Every Saturday night, you and I look at rosters, and there are kids from Texas who are key players on other rosters, and they're leaving because of the negative. That's a great move by McElroy as he'll take it to the 21-yard line. Cavallo comes over to make the stop.
We're getting back to football. Leland McElroy, R.C. Slocum said, reminds him a lot of Marshall Faulk out at San Diego State. Said he's built like him. He feels like he runs like him. Anthony Bridges misses the tackle, number 21, but Leland McElroy makes him miss.
One thing happened to Leland tonight that he will put in his notebook, and that's he got a headgear in the ear hole earlier that sent him to the sideline. He was okay, obviously, but it's something you have to learn. This is Wallace, the ball carrier. He gets tripped up as he tries to make the turn, and maybe a gain of 1. Well, Mike, here are the numbers on the 3 running backs, Hill, Thomas, and McElroy. 18 carries for Hill, 12 for Thomas, and 8 for McElroy. Wallace again as the coaches try to get a look-see at him, and he's going to lose yardage. Gaines grabs him around the ankles, and we are now under 5 minutes left in the ball game.
Another fine play by Joe Johnson, the outstanding defensive end of Louisville. He just continues to play. Ty Smith, the defensive coordinator, said just he can be as good as he wants to be. 6'3", 250.
Thomas and Hill standing together on the sideline. Their work is done for the evening. His mobility, has a man open, and then he overthrew him. Oh my goodness, had his opportunity there, and Clay was open and the ball sailed just a bit.
He just got a little excited when he looked up and saw Hayward Clay, number 85, running free, and just put too much underneath it. Down, Probably R.C. Slocum's going to run the football here, I would think.
Well, you could see Hannah jump, but also on the left side of the offensive line, there was movement as well.
I would think R.C. feels like he's had enough.
Good ball. Ball start. Offense. Still fourth down.
.336 left to play. A&M 42-7. Breaks one tackle, and now it's going to be finished off at the 29. Cavallo is the man who makes the stop, and the Louisville Cardinals will take it over. And Louisville has a player down at the 31.
Ronnie Coast Guard Academy won 31-23 today, which is like the Army-Navy game for the Coast Guard. They beat Kings Point 31-23, and a big win for the Coast Guard Academy under Bill Schmitz.
Two players shaken up, Frost and also Roscoe. So let's take a timeout. 3:28 left to play. Tonight's Visa players of the game are from Louisville, Anthony Bridges, 11 tackles, 8 of those solo. And for Texas A&M, it is Aaron Glenn, 1 interception, and he scored on that. As a part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes. Coming up immediately following the ball game, the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard. Oklahoma with a big win today over cross-state rival Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has been a while since they have won in Norman.
Oklahoma with the big game remaining with Nebraska.
Calvin Arrington, the ball carrier now, as both clubs beginning to substitute beyond what our depth chart has been showing, giving them an opportunity to play tonight in a game that is over for all intents and purposes. 3 minutes is what we have left. The line of scrimmage.
Louisville has 1 game remaining in the regular season versus Tulsa at Tulsa on November 25th. Texas A&M, of course, plays at TCU on the 20th, and then we're back here for the shootout with John Makovic in Texas on November 25th.
Jeff Brom standing on the sideline. Mike, he got the extra year. You did that ball game against Tennessee. Broke his leg.
Broke his leg. Unfortunate. Well, I like him. I like his chances to go in the NFL. As you look at the defensive coaches of A&M.
You saw Sam Adams on the sideline getting a well-deserved rest. One of the 4 finalists for the Lombardi Award down in Houston to be given later.
Now, if Texas comes in Thanksgiving night and beats A&M,
still third down.
Do they win the Southwest Conference?
They knock them off in head-to-head competition, and Texas has 1 conference loss. They still have Baylor to play, though.
There's still some water to go under the bridge yet.
But one of those teams will be eliminated from bowl competition next week, either Baylor or Texas. So they can't be thinking about A&M. Patterson, the ball carrier, going to be hit in the backfield and knocked down. It's 4th down.
Texas does have to win out to go to a bowl game because they won't have enough wins unless they win out.
Right.
They spanked TCU today.
Number 22, Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell this time. It's a good kick into the wind. Takes a big Louisville bounce and is going to go down to the 20-yard line.
It takes you to another level. You feel like you're floating on air. The competition is so thick and so tight that you can cut it with a knife. National championship game between 1 and 2 is nothing compared to this.
Sam Adams, who's a junior, talking about the rivalry with the Texas Longhorns, the 100th meeting, and we will be here at Kyle Field in College Station a week from Thursday evening, Thanksgiving night, for that matchup.
How many of those 100 have you been in attendance?
Quite a few.
50, 60?
Not that many. Shane Anthony, the ball carrier there. Number 10, Stormy Case, who holds on extra points and field goals, has come into the lineup at quarterback, and he's getting an opportunity as the clock runs down to 37 and now 36. Side doesn't get out of bounds, and that probably will be the final play of this ball game. Howard Schnellenberger heading to the middle of the field for a handshake with R.C. Slocum. 2 seconds down to 1, and that's it from Kyle Stadium in College Station, Texas, with the final score, Texas A&M 42 and Louisville 7. For Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Rob Franklin saying good night, everybody. The college football scoreboard is next.